Welcome to your absolute step and piecewise functions review. This video will cover number 14 through 20. Number 14, we're going to start with our step, and the reason you know it's a step is because you have these brackets, okay? It is, the equation for a step function is y equals a, your symbol, that tells you that's a floor rounding down, x minus h plus k. H and k is your vertex, your starting point. So if you're looking at this equation, your starting point is right here at -1. Remember, it's negative, so we take the opposite, plus your k, which is 0. So it's -1 and 0. Your step, that's your slope. You're going to go down every one. So I'm going to go ahead and graph my steps, and it looks just like a step. I'm going to start at -1, 0, right here. Now, you notice I went down one to the right one. This shows a negative slope. You don't have to graph all of it, but please try to graph as many as you can. And it's all going to look like this. You enclose, it's closed, and it's open. Why? Because you're rounding down, okay? So it should all look like this. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw my steps. All the way through. And there you have your step function for number 14, okay? Number 15, starting point is at, here's your h, here's your k. Opposite of -4 is +4, k is -3, your step is an understood 1, okay? So I'm going to go to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down -3. There's my starting point. I'm going to go up 1 over 1, and there you have my steps. Start making your steps. Okay, here we go. Number 16. Okay, now on number 16, I did not graph all of these. But if I were you and you need to continue on to help you see better, please do, okay? And notice that every one of these should be open. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the graph so you guys can kind of see. Your equation is based off of the form I gave you earlier. Pick any starting point you want. I'm going to pick this point right here, and that is 0, -1. And my slope is, I went down 2, your step, down 2 to the right 1. So here's my equation. Y equals -2, floor, x plus 0, I don't have to write 0, minus 1. And there's my equation. Your domain, far left or far right, notice every point is counted for, so it's going to be from -infinity to +infinity. Your range is everything down here all the way up, but if you notice, there's gaps in between, okay? Look at your y. It's at -1, -3, -5. Look at this one, 1, 3, 5, 7. So they're all odd. So for your range, you will write every odd, and they're all integers, beginning, okay, at, pick anywhere you want. I'm going to say y equals at -1. So when I start at -1, I'm going to go up every odd number. Your end behavior. Here's your end behavior. So, limit of, as x is approaching negative, your y is approaching north. So that's positive, okay? Your right side, as x is approaching positive, it is going in the opposite direction. So you have a -x. Continue on to the next side. Okay, here's your graph. It says x-intercept. Are you crossing the x-axis at all? So this one does not apply. Your y-intercept, where are you crossing the y-axis? Right here at -1. So that point is 0, -1. Okay. There's really not a minimum and a maximum, so we're going to take that off. And instead of interval increasing, because the whole thing is decreasing, we're going to change this to interval positive and interval negative, okay? So where do you see this graph being positive? Well, it starts at negative infinity, way over here, but it stops right here, where x is 0. But that point is open, it is not closed, parentheses, okay? Negative, where do you see negative? Starting right here, every other going down. So it starts off at 0, included, see the points included, continues on to positive infinity. Okay. And there's number 16. Number 17. Right? Number 17. Now, think of this as continuing on. Okay, so if you need to add that so you can see better, please do. But I did it just enough so you guys can kind of get an idea. Your equation, pick a point, any point. I'm actually going to pick something different. I'm going to pick this one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4, negative 2, just so you can see, and my step is a 1. So my equation will look like this, okay? Y equal floor function, okay, starts here included, does not, x plus 4 minus 2. There's my equation. Your domain, far left to far right, you can write negative infinity to positive infinity, or you can write all real numbers. Now look at your range. You notice you're hitting every integers, so you can just write every integers, and you can tell me where it begins if you like. Beginning at y equals 2. But if it's every integers, you really don't have to tell me where it begins. I just know it's going to go everywhere. Left in behavior. As you are approaching negative infinity, you're heading south. So, your limit. As x is approaching negative infinity, you're heading in the negative direction. Okay? Right. That's this side over here. As you're heading positive, you're also going up. So the limit, as x is approaching positive infinity, your y is also approaching positive infinity. Notice it is always switched. Alright, your x-intercept. Let's see where you cross the x-axis. Okay. Well, it's crossing the x-axis right here, from negative 2 to negative 1. So, I want you guys to write it like this, as a set notation, okay? Make sure it's a set notation. This is the best way to write it without writing a bunch of stuff. I'm looking at my x value, where y is 0, as x such that it is between negative 2, included, going to 1, negative 1, not included. So give me just a moment and get rid of that line, okay? It should just be a less than sign. And there you have your x-intercept. Your y-intercept, where do you see it crossing the y-axis? This one, right here. What's that point? At 2. So 0, 2, no minimum, no maximum. This should say positive. This one should say negative, because it's continually either increasing or decreasing, okay? Positive. Where do you see it positive? Well, this one's at 0, so that's neither positive or negative, so it's run above it. And what is this part right here? Negative 1. So, from negative 1, it continues on to the right, which is parentheses. Now look at negative 1. Is that closed or open? It's closed. Bracket. Okay? Where do you see it being negative? Well, from here on down. It starts here at the negative infinity. Parentheses. Where does it stop? It stops right here at negative 2, but that is open. So it's going to have a little bit of a gap right here, where it's neither positive or negative. Okay? And instead of number 20, this should really be number 18, but we're going to keep it at 20 because 18 and 19 got left off. Alright, Let's look at number 20. It says, your insurance company groups people into 5-year age blocks. Those are the ages. Graph this scenario if coverage starts at 25 years old for $60 per month and increases by $20 per month. Okay? So, make yourself a graph. Label your X and your Y. And I'm thinking the ages will be right here because it's talking about years old. Okay? The age. And then the price per month. Is it per month? Yep, price per month. Okay. Alright, now take a look. The age starts 5-year block, starting at 25. So if this is 0, I'm going to add a little breaker. So from here is at 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and I can continue on to 50. Okay? Now, it starts at $60 per month, so I'm going to put a breaker here. Starts at $60. Let me do my dollar sign. And I go up by 20. 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. Okay? Charges by insurance according to age. So there's my title. All right. It says starting at 25, you are charged $60 per month. At 30, you are now at 80. Okay? 35, you are at 100. 40, 120. So you kind of see a pattern taking place. Okay. So if you are 25 and 29, you're going to get charged $60. But if you're at 30, that does not include you. You guys see a graph taking place? Okay. So there's your graph. Including 25 up to 30, not including 30. And there you have your review. Good luck. I'll do the next video in a little bit.